Yeah, how's it going, everyone? We got her all put together here. We still, let me pick this up a little bit. We still have our Playfield to do, but our cabinet, I showed you in one other video, I just finished up the cabinet after I did the Playfield. That's why the Playfield was sitting in that old cabinet while we were working on it, because I don't have a rotisserie and I really don't have the room to have a rotisserie, Playfield rotisserie in here. Where would I put it? You can see all my machines become workspace. It's lightning. Okay, anyway. So the cabinet's done. We got it all prettied up. And now it's time to get this Playfield done, so we can start putting everything on the top. We need to do the underside first. We got to still put all of our switches, drop targets, all that stuff back up through before we can start populating the Playfield. Now, on the pop bumpers, this is what I'm thinking for pop bumpers. Go all red with the pop bumpers. I don't think that's too much red. That kind of really sets off with the red here and our blue. Kind of like it. I mean, I had to change bodies and all that, and they had to come off. Bodies were all beat to hell, and so were the skirts, were all beat to crap. Actually, I could probably save the caps, the 100s. The only thing I don't like about using these clear caps is they don't tell you your value on them. Maybe someday they will. That would be up to me. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is putting nice red pop bumpers up there on for our pop bumpers. Put all red. Oh, and let's see. I got it plugged in, and we can remember the Playfield's not plugged in, but looky there. We got some coin door lights and our back box lights. Now we'll be doing some troubleshooting, I'll tell you that, because when you start a game, you can see we have a few of our reels that aren't. We have a few of our reels. That's one of them stupid lockout coils. I need to clean that one. But we have a couple of reels that we need to address again, which is no big deal, I think. Most of it is, I think I may have the reels too tight. Maybe not. But that's just some simple adjustments on those, and we can get those in troubleshooting when we do the big troubleshooting episode on this. Flippers, they had Gottlieb flipper bats on it, which is okay. You know, let me get another. See, there's a new, this is a Bally Williams. You can see how you have this much room for a rubber. On the Gottliebs, you have a smaller, thinner rubber that goes on these. You can use them, you know, that's fine, but you have to order Gottlieb rubbers, and if you order a kit for it, you're gonna get the wide Chicago coin. So we're going to swap them out, and we're going to put either new ones in. The only thing I don't like about the new ones is it doesn't have this groove here. It catches your screw, your set screw on the shoe. This one doesn't have it, so you have to get these pretty tight. But you know, that's no big deal. There's a nice one. You can use that one, huh? And I can't take the bats off because these are all molded in one. And I don't have any more bats. I just took for granted that, you know, it had the right flipper bats on it, so we're kind of crap out of luck, and I may still order some in. But I want to get this one just about buttoned up here shortly. We still have, like I said, we have the Playfield to do. We got to do the underside and the top side. Plus we still have our back glass sitting over there that we need to address. And I'll be working on it off and on to get it buttoned up too, so we can get it put in. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to screw down our pop bumpers on either side so we can flip this over and get everything done on the bottom side, so when we flip it back over, we don't have to keep flipping it back and forth to do things. We can get everything done underneath and then flip it over and then start working top side. So let me get this flipped over and we will start working. Yeah, you little craphead. And we'll start working on the underside. Alright, I'm about ready to start on our 4-hole. Found them, like I told you earlier, at Marco. These are 3D printed, but who cares? As long as they work, that's all that counts. I went ahead and spent the money instead of trying to cut them out myself. I have one good one here that I'm saving, that I'm going to put up, and I will cut them out. Now if you can't find them for the Chicago coin, see, the Chicago coin has the 2 holes for the ball mount. The eject hole base Gottlieb, these will work. You just have to drill the 2 holes, which you can lay it down on top here and mark your holes out, and those will work as well. So I ordered a couple of those because I wanted to see them, see if they were the same, and if they can be adapted for the Chicago coin, which they can be. And so yeah, I'm gonna get this all put together here, and I'm moving along. Like I said, I got our drop targets in. Most of our switches are in up top here. These switches here laying there for the hole, for the eject hole. And I got one of my kickers done. And then once I get everything done here, then we'll address the flippers. Like I said, that is ugly as hell. And I bought a new coil for in here because that one is the wrong coil. So we're going to swap that out. And you can see we have a couple coil stop screws missing on our flippers too. So we'll round up a couple of those too. Alright, we got everything buttoned up under here. You can see we got our new hole liners. Our new eject holes. Both of them nice and free and working. I had to leave certain screws out because it messes up with our switches. So each one of our plates here is only held down with 3 screws. If you put them in, it holds our switches, or our switch hangs up on them. This one was okay, but that one wasn't. This one wasn't, and this one here, it was right under the switch and held it closed. So I just put 3 in. It's not like, you know, that ball weighs 50 pounds and it's going to break down through. I'll just have to keep an eye on them and make sure they're not warping from the weight of it, I guess, of the ball sitting in there. I got everything else all done up. Got our slingshots all working. Everything's put down where it belongs. I just finished up the flippers. Put a new coil in on this side. This is the one that was in there. I can't find anything on it. It's a lot bigger than the regular flipper coils. So I just ordered a new one and put a new one in. I just nice solder on it. I don't know what the hell they used for solder. That shit wouldn't melt for nothing. Excuse my language. And this is a bunch of the lumps I pulled off of it. They had soldered onto the end of stroke switch, the same thing, and that big chunk there come off of it. But, you know, that may have been all they had. The flippers, we had 2 different links on it. 2 different plungers and links. 2 different springs. Had a wimpy one over here. On that, they had to, they used the shorter link here and had to shorten up the stop here so it would work for them, I guess. I don't know, but everything's back to the way it should be. So we got that all straightened out. Had a switch with a busted leaf on it, and I changed that up top there, and just kind of slowly going over everything. Put all new light bulbs in the whole Playfield. Checked all my switches. Like I said, we had one that was broke. It was this guy right here, and on the Chicago coins, you can see they have a rivet through it, holding the switch together to the mounting plate. So all I did was grind off the rivets, knock them through, replace my leaf, and then put a number 6 bolt and a nut on it to hold it back together. Because I'm sure you can't find that anywhere, but you can sure fix them. There's another one. Like I said, they got rivets through them, holding everything together and holding it to the mount plate. Drop targets. I think we're ready to flip this over, and after I clean the crap off of it, flip it over and maybe get started on populating it. I think what I will do is, I don't have the Playfield plugged in yet. I think we will plug her in, get it flipped, and turn it on, see if any of our lights are working. I could knock those back to 0. Yeah, we'll see. Let me get this done up, and then we'll start taking a look at some other stuff, and maybe let's see what the Playfield's going to do. I forgot to show you. This is a classic example of worn out coil stops. You can see how that one's mushroomed. And this one's just hammered to hell. can't get rebuild kits for these. So but you can buy pieces, parts, and get them all put together. That way you can buy the bushing. The crank was the hardest thing for me to find. I couldn't find the crank. Everybody was out of them. But the link, the plunger and link, you can get those. Coil stops. These are basic Stern coil stops with the 4-hole, with the 8s on the outside and the 6s on the inside. They will work. They will work on any of these, any of the Stern, classic Stern coil stops. You can see this is another copper colored one with the 2 holes and the 2 6s in the center. Or 8s. 6s. Nope, those were the 6s. That's right. That's the way I ordered them. You can order them, the classic Stern, with just the 2 6s in the center, with just the 2 holes. But I order the 4s just in case somebody has swapped something out, because a lot of the classic Stern stuff will fit on this machine. Because at that time, when in '77, when Chicago Coin went bankrupt, Stern went to the auction and bought all the assets for Chicago Coin, and then they started making Stern again. Or that's when Stern started. Pretty sure. If I'm wrong, somebody will tell me. But anyway, so like I said, on these Chicago Coins, a lot of the stuff is classic Stern, because Stern just kept a lot of the stuff that they were producing at that time. They got all the drawings, and I think they even finished up some of the machines that were in the pipeline. And there's a lot of stuff that you can, if you're interested, you can take a look it up. But it's kind of interesting. It's been a while since I've read anything on it, but anyway, let's get back to work. All right, I've got everything all put back in the Playfield. As you can see, I got it flipped over. You can see our nifty little drop targets that we worked on. One stand up top there. Rollovers back in. I figured set our scores back to 0, and so we can turn it on. Okay. Okay, I got a switch stuck. Let me get that taken care of. Okay, problem is, all of our switches are okay, but we have our A-hole. I'm not joking. That's what it is. It's the A-hole. You can see our plate. This is what pulls in and lets go. How about over here? The plate here is what pulls in. And the coil pulls it in, closes the relays, the switches, and then when it turns off, it releases. Well, you can see when I put everything back together, my plate for my rollover switch up top is in the way. So we need to loosen that up. Make sure we got enough room. Could be over just a little bit more. Now, See, she's loose. Boy, they don't give you much room in there. Okay, now let's put this back down and turn it on again. Now. Still got that noisy coil on the door. There we go. And she just went out. Okay, that time it was the kick switch underneath, so if you kick the bottom it shuts it off. Now it was a little close, but it wasn't quite making enough contact, so I adjusted that a little bit more, and that took care of the coming on for a little while and then shutting off, and it wouldn't come back on because of that switch. Okay, I have those all set at zeros. Now let's see what happens when we start a game. Okay, so we still have problems. We can't even... Okay. So she's still doing that. Still just keeps on cycling. So that's going to have to be... We'll have to work on that. But now what we need to do is get our playfield populated. Got quite a bit of stuff here to do. Can't even play around with those eject holes. I wanted to see if how those worked. All right. So we're gonna get started on populating the playfield. Okay, folks, this is what I'm thinking for our bonus and our 10, and of course we got our green for our double bonus. Thought I had some big clear inserts, but I don't. I have the small ones, small clear ones. In fact, those are the only small ones I have are the clear, but I don't have any big clear. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use a blue, because I think that'll make it all nice and blend in. Let's see, posts. I'm gonna switch up, and I'm gonna use some different posts as well on this. I'm gonna go with some clear ones on the bottom, and probably strategically put some red in here and there too. So I'm not gonna show time lapse of me putting this together, because I'm gonna have to kind of, as I'm getting it put together, I'm gonna have to see what's gonna look the best to me anyway. But the posts off of this weren't terrible. I mean, I can get them cleaned up and use all white, but I just thought maybe we'd do something a little different this time and use some clear ones on it and kind of dress it up a little bit more. Since this is a pretty colorful playfield, I think adding a little bit more, some clear and some red to it, I think that's gonna kind of make it look even better yet. I'm not going to do LEDs, because most of the time I don't like doing LEDs on EMs. I did a couple of them. I did my soccer, my Gottlieb soccer, and I did my Monte Carlo, my Bally Monte Carlo. And I wasn't thrilled with it. I mean, maybe some strategic LEDs aren't bad. Like on Knight Rider, I put the pop bumper LEDs in, and I did the drain hole here I may do that again on here. We'll see, because we'll see what it's like once I get everything done. I can get the whole playfield put together except the apron. I'm still missing an apron for this machine. So I may have to steal one off a top 10 over there. It'll be yellow. I'm not going to paint it, but I can at least put it on and we can, it'll look complete until I find one. And I don't want to paint it because eventually top 10 is going to be put back together. So I don't want to ruin it. It's all factory yeller. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, it'll take me a while. I'm just going to strategically kind of go through and start putting this back together on my time, and just kind of put in things where I want to as far as the posts go. And then we'll take a look at it after it's done. I may go ahead and just put, get all my posts in, leave the plastics off, because I think a lot of these plastics go down over studs, so I can leave all the plastics off, and then I can come back and show you putting the plastics on it and getting it completed that way. But like I said, this is what I'm thinking on our inserts. I'll go ahead and knock them in and start slowly putting this together where I like stuff. So stay tuned, we're getting there. Now I got all the posts in where I want them. Let's see what you think. So I went with clear down here. Red. Clear behind the drop targets. Red up through here. Clear up on the blue. Clear because this will be hidden. That'll be kind of hidden. But got some red here kind of showing off the blue. Same with here, and put clear up here. So I think that's going to look good once we get the plastics on it. I will get you set up in the tripod, and I will go ahead and put the plastics on, and you can see how it's going to turn out with the plastics.
crazy Monday. I know it shows that I'm a little nervous. I've just realized that I can't let go. There's something about me and you, so let me stay here a little while.
Alright, there she is. I told you I was going to put that yellow one on there until I find a white one. That's the only apron I have that'll fit on the Chicago coin. And that's off of my top 10. So it's on there. Alright, so we got everything all buttoned up on here. Got my nice red bumper tops on it. Got some red posts, some clear posts. By God, she starting to look pretty good. So now, what are we going to tackle? We got one last cosmetic thing to do before we can start troubleshooting. And that is whatever is missing on that back box. What do you think? I think we ought to get that back glass over here. That's not going to work. That was just kind of, I'm going to need two hands. I'm not going to try and pick that up. But I'm going to move this over, and we're going to start see what we can do about getting this back glass looking just a little bit better. I think we can make it come out a little better than what it looks now. On the bottom, you can see they put Mylar or some clear crap on it, and I'm hoping that once I put a little paint on it, it's still gonna look alright. I think the biggest part is just gonna be kind of matching up the skin tone here. I'm gonna need to get this over so we can actually see what it looks like. And I think if I can get the skin tone matched up pretty good and get most of the skin tone done in it, we'll probably do a little bit of the green around the cinema and that one big blotch of blue down there. I think we're only going to kind of piss with 3 different colors on this, and that's going to be it. Oh, that's grass. I thought it was looked like a dang spider sitting there. So let me move this over to lightning, and then we can take a peek at it in the light here and see if we can't get something matched up on it. But that looks pretty good. It'd look a lot better with a white apron on it, but I'm going with what I have at the moment to get this finished up. And then when a white one does come around, it's not going to take much to swap it out. What do you think? Think that's a plan? Sounds like a good plan to me. Alright, so let me get that back glass over here and we'll take a look at it and see what we need to do with it. Yeah, I know, everybody wants me to get the machine going so we can play it and see how it's going to play. But this has to be done first before I do it. Before we do any troubleshooting. So, as you can see, we have, quite a bit of the skin tone on a lot of the peoples is missing. And, regular skin tone, which here is a skin tone, is just too, a regular skin tone. It looks like everybody on here kind of has a bit of a sunburn. A little bit of you can see it there, just some pink to it. So, what I have here is some Coral Cove, which is pretty dark, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten that up a little bit or darken this up, whichever I decide to do, or I can just throw them together and see what happens. And I'm going to see if I can't lighten that up and get that a little closer to that color, so we can touch all these people up on here, especially her. She's the worst. I mean, God, looks like she's got a broken leg. God, she's got a long lower, holy mackerel. Wonder who, I think that's supposed to be Cleopatra, so that should be Mark Anthony. And here's her knee here, which would put it, I guess, there, calf. I don't know, but it sure looks like she's got a broken leg. Anyway, she's the worst that we need to get her touched up. Just a little bit on, that looks like Jimmy Stewart on her, so I don't know who Jimmy would be with. And Laurel. I mean, he's got a bad spot right on his forehead, and it looks like some of the brown from the hat is laying in there too. So we got to get this cleaned up. I cleaned the outside of this because it was nasty, to say the least. But and see, Hardy's got a makes him look more manly. He's got a scar on his cheek here. Maybe I'll touch that, put red on there so it looks like he's got a bad scar. But I think if we get the skin tone close enough, everything else will be not too bad. That blue, we got to take care of that, because there should be, well, that's going to be all the way down in here, but I think it'll still kind of stick out. And as you can see, they put that Mylar on, and they didn't clean the back glass before they put that Mylar to stick all the rest of that down. And the green around the Chicago coin cinema, which is right up in there, and that, I don't know if that green's going to show up a whole lot or not, but I know we can get the green in. That won't be a problem. Then the rest of it, I don't know, we may not do anything with. I mean, we got a little bit of a purple and a little bit of black there. You know, overall this glass isn't that bad. We get the skin tones done, that green and that blue spot, and I think the rest of it we'll leave alone. Unless my OCD kicks in and I just have to cover up the rest of that. We'll see, because there's a little bit of yellow here on Mark Anthony. Okay, so let me mix up some of this and see if I can't get something a little close to it. Yeah, I got our flesh tone filled in, and the blue down there on that bottom. Blue's a little lighter. It's kind of hard with that crap that's on it. Yeah, the flesh tone is really kind of hard because it's you have two different colors in there, and it had quite a bit of red in it. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do the green, because we have our lights right here that light up cinema. So I think we're going to have should be right through here. And I think that's going to kind of shine through quite a bit. Now on the A, that's a yellow. That's really kind of subtle in there. I think I'll leave that alone. I'm still debating on the brown on that, on Laurel and Hardy's hat. So I can't flip this over because I got wet paint over there, and I don't, just kind of smear it around. But I do, let me see. And this is the green I'm going to use. This is a festive, right time of the year. I'm going to use this festive green in there. I think that's going to be pretty close. It should dry just a little bit darker and kind of blend all in. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and, goat head. I'm going to go ahead and put on some festive green and see how that looks. Hopefully that turns out to, and here we go again with some purple on the Pirates, probably Captain Kidd on his vest. And there's yellow missing on his buttons too. Oh, I don't know. I may work on some purple. He's going to be all the way over here. And the only thing that's really going to light it up is player 2 lights and your match. So I think over there in the corner it may not be too visible. We may put it up in, turn the machine on, and just take a peek and see if this is going to show up. If it's going to stick out like a sore thumb, then we'll go ahead and put some paint in it. But right now I'm going to work on this green. Let me get this green all done up, and then I think we'll move on to the brown. I think I'm going to go ahead and do Laurel and Hardy's hat. See, there's some more yellow down there on Mark Antony. So I may end up doing some yellow. Yuck. Okay. I think it's time to do some green. So let me work on the green, and then I'll bring you back and show you how the green turned out. Now that's the back glass is all done. Let's get up a little close here. You can see it. You know, I'm a little colors off here. The hat, there was just, I tried, and I finally got fed up. Just covered it with some brown so we don't have light shining through. The purple, not too bad. Yellow, actually the yellow is the best, and so is the green. Normally the yellow is my worst. Purple, like I said, it's okay. You know, if you stand back here when you're playing and you're looking at the back glass, it's not too bad. Wasn't bad to begin with, but I did get most areas where there's light going to be shining through that it's going to be kind of, I don't know, really, if it's a distractive while you're playing, or just that if you're, you're walking up looking at the machine, okay, do I want to play this? What is this? Oh, cinema. Yeah, okay. And then you look at the playfield, you don't even really notice, what's going on the back glass. Most people were more interested in, ooh, does it have drop targets? Does it have holes? Oh, lucky. Bumpers. Oh, yeah, we're going to play this. We got to play this. Most of the people, that's what they look for. Anyway, they're not staring at the back glass. Let me see. Did he touch that back glass up? So, it looks good. I think the whole thing came out pretty good. Playfield, back glass, cabinet. I think we have a pretty good example of a Chicago coin cinema here. That takes care of all of our cosmetics. And all we have to do now is work on troubleshooting and get it all squared away. Hopefully that's the video after this one. It may not be. Like I said, I've been kind of jumping around doing things, here, getting some stuff done on it. Cabinet took me forever to do the cabinet. That's why we were working on the playfield and another cabinet, because I don't have a rotisserie. I don't know if I'm going to build one or get one, because I just don't have the room to have that sitting in here too. I'd rather have machines that need fixed or that are fixed sitting in here. So I don't know if I can find and put one together that's actually, collapsible or whatever, and I can slide it under a machine then I may go ahead and do something like that, just to work on them while I'm working on a cabinet or the cabinet or something. Anyway, I'm rambling on here a little bit, but anyway, you'll get over it. And like I said, that takes care of all the cosmetics on it. We're all finished up there, and I'm not sure, like I said, if the next episode is going to be on troubleshooting or if it's something else. I don't know until I start putting these all together. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And I will see you on the next episode of Cinema. So till next time. Right there. See ya.